Hey, how's it going today, guys? So, what I want to talk to you about briefly is basically splitting up campaigns specifically by gender. How to make great YouTube ads or any type of ads, really, how to write good copy, how to set up your campaigns and structures and all this stuff. It's extremely important, obviously, but once you get the basics down and you can create good ads and you know your market and you know the hooks and you know the things that work or don't work for your market, we really need to up our game in order to start squeezing out lower cost per acquisitions, higher volume, and basically maintaining longevity in our campaigns. And one of the best ways that we're able to do that in our agency is by creating specific content for men versus women. Now, sometimes this can be as simple as having a woman spokesperson in a video ad versus a man in a video ad, right? That could be the case. But it can also be the case for what does your landing page look like. So, we run a lot of quiz traffic or assessment type traffic, ads to a multi-step quiz that we build in Leads Hook, which is a really great SaaS app. Check that out. The owner over there, Nick, a shout out to him. They do a great job of creating this excellent quiz and segmentation tool. Anyways, back to the point. By testing, say, a landing page with lots of logos and trust factors and bullet points versus maybe a more minimalistic approach, which you've probably seen clicking an ad on YouTube or Facebook or display or native, suddenly you're like, whoa, this is all it is. It's like a white page with some buttons on it. It obviously works because we see these all the time. So split testing those types of things against different genders. So men might respond to one versus women might respond to another. Or the biggest wins we always see is in the creative, I'll be honest. So, and it comes directly down to either the voiceover you're using, so a man or woman voiceover, the imagery you're using, men or women in the stock footage if you're creating a slideshow type video, or if you're using a spokesperson type video, the gender of the person in the spokesperson. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is the age of the individual. If you're selling something like funeral plans or final expense policies in North America, you're going to find that if you use a 24-year-old woman in that video, it likely, I'm not saying it definitely won't, but it likely will not have the same response as if we had an on-spec, late 50s, early 60s woman or man speaking to that audience. We want to have message to market match always. And this is kind of basic marketing, The language we use in our landers or in our videos has to be on spec with who we're targeting. We can't use lingo that a millennial would connect with or like acronyms or emojis or things like this for someone who's in their 70s. Well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe you can. But as a general rule of thumb, we want to speak to the lingo that not only the age and the gender would know, but also the geographical differences too, right? So we run traffic in the United States and Canada and the United Kingdom. And obviously in the UK, we use different lingo. We also obviously have to be hiring different spokespeople and actors and things like that in our videos, right? So just a really quick tip today, but something if you're running any type of traffic now and you're getting some results, I challenge you to think about what would happen if you either did one of two things, either split out the genders into two ad groups in the same campaign if it's a smaller campaign, or if you're spending a lot, consider splitting the campaign up into different genders and looking at how you're, basically what type of creative and what type of video, what type of landing page, what type of language, all the stuff you're using. Try a new video against men versus in a male audience versus a woman audience, or try a landing page split test in each. A sidebar to this, I didn't mention it, but when we run these type of landing page creative tests in different campaigns, what we're doing is, we just launched one today. We've got a whole campaign running to women and a whole campaign running to men, and we created two separate landing pages. They're identical, right? It's a split test of two different versions of the same page, but we don't know which one's going to relate better with women versus which one's going to relate better with men. So we want to have the ability to slide that split test one way or the other and declare a winner of one page for men when maybe the other page will work better for women. It's important to think about all these little aspects because as CPMs go up, as we lose some ability to target, whether it be because of iOS 14 or whether it be because of the networks making more of a black box with their algorithm and privacy and things. When we think about these things and how we can segment out our campaigns better, we are able to squeeze more results out for the same money. Last point that I'll mention today, and I know this is kind of contradictory to what I just said, but one thing to be aware of is don't try and go too micro in your segmentation, right? If you try and go tablet targeting to women that are between 45 and 54 only in England, there's a lot of them, but you're not going to get as much longevity out of that if you targeted all women on tablet and say like from 35 to 65 plus, for instance, right? So be careful how tight you make that. Because what can happen is you will then starve the algorithm for information. You know, if you only give it a pocket of 1,000 people and when we say we want to spend $1,000 a day, well, it's going to be done in less than a day because it's going to go to basically all 1,000 people and be like, hey, do you fit the offer, right? And it will eventually stall. So as always, subscribe below if you're interested in making sure you get all my new videos I put out on YouTube ads and other Google ads and digital marketing and sales and all that good stuff. And if you were interested in upping your YouTube ads game and Google Discovery game, click the link below. You go right to my Calendly page. You can book a 30-minute strategy call with me and I can learn a little bit of what you're doing, potentially help give you some information, tips on how you can do better, and possibly one of our programs we have in-house, be it our education programs or consulting, can help you scale your campaigns and make more ROI and more money. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.